Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Am I wrong for expecting my ex-girlfriend to move out after she broke up with me, even though she has nowhere else to go? Why didn't she plan that beforehand? If she's living together with her boyfriend currently and then she breaks up with him and then expects to still live together, what? Surely she should have found a place to move out to first and then break up? Some people don't think. I have been with my girlfriend Megan for 4 years, and we've lived together for 2 of them. We live in a house I inherited from my grandmother. Megan quit her job a while ago to pursue her master's degree full-time since her bachelor's wasn't opening any doors. I've been supporting her financially and emotionally while she's been in school. To be clear, I never resented that. I wanted to support her goals and was proud she was pushing forward in life. Her program is intense, and she's even taken summer courses. I work full-time and also take care of the house, which means some things slip through the cracks. I cook, clean, and try to keep things in decent shape. It's not perfect, but I genuinely don't think it's bad. I'd comfortably have friends over without worrying about the place looking or smelling off. I'm not an amazing chef, but I know my way around the kitchen. But yeah, they're mostly basic dinners. The past couple of months have been hard. Megan's stress levels have been through the roof and tensions between us have grown. She's been unhappy with how I clean or cook, saying I don't meet her standards. I get that she's overwhelmed, but I felt like nothing I did was ever enough. I still try to be patient and supportive, but things hit a boiling point and we had an argument. Megan broke up with me. It hurt, but I honestly think it was for the best. We were clearly not making each other happy anymore, so what was the point anymore? Why was she complaining? I mean, why is she not cleaning and cooking? Like, a relationship is a two-way street. And this guy is like the dream man, and she's really gonna break up with him because she's stressed when he's been there for her all along. Once she leaves, she knows she effed up. Honestly. There's no way you have a man supporting you financially while you're studying. He cooks and cleans for you, and you're gonna come home and complain when she's not even contributing to anything. What? I'd be so pissed off. Like, her boyfriend is too nice. If I was working full-time, supporting my partner emotionally and financially, and then I'm cooking and cleaning for them also, and all they're doing is just coming back home, eat and sleep, and complain about me? They would not be the one breaking up with me. I would be the one breaking up with them. Hello? Now that we're no longer together, I think it's fair for her to move out. She doesn't agree. She says she has nowhere else to go and that if she's forced to leave, she'll have to drop out of her program. Her mum and stepdad live the RE life, and she doesn't have friends who can take her in. She did receive a decent amount of money from her own grandmother when she passed, but she used most of it to cover her tuition. I know she wasn't blowing it. It really did go to school, but now she's tapped out and stuck. I get that this situation sucks, and I don't want to see her crash and burn, but I also don't feel like I should have to keep living with someone who broke up with me. I mean, he's right. Why would he need to still live with her? She was the one who hurt his feelings. She was the one who broke up with him. Then she should move out. You can't break up with someone and be like, well, I'm still going to live here. What? What? I would not be as nice as this man. I'd be like, get out. Finally! Finally, you're getting out of my life. I've already given her 45 days to figure something out. Even though legally, I'm only required to give her 30. She's now trying to say she wants to work things out, but to me, it feels more like panic and desperation than a genuine desire to fix the relationship. I don't hate her, but I don't think it's healthy for either of us to keep living together in this limbo. So, am I wrong for expecting her to move out after she broke up with me? Nope. It would be different if I was the one to dump them and they were like an amazing person. But I just didn't feel the spark anymore, right? I would still let them live with me until they find a new place. But if they're the one who dumped me and they were like terrible to me and all they did was complain while I just supported them wholeheartedly, yeah, I would want them to move out as soon as possible. I love how she's like, she doesn't agree that she has to move out. Like, girl, it's not your house, so bye. Someone choosing to just walk away from you and still expect something in return is selfish. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I'm still gonna be right in your face. That right there is just selfish. It says so much about her character. Holy. It's always people like this though, like their partners give them everything, but they have so much to complain about. How? He's literally paying all the bills, supporting you financially. He cooks and cleans while he also works full time, so he's probably tired, right? But he still does everything for you because he loves you. And you still have the audacity to complain. I think that's crazy. But the fact that he still gave her 45 days, that's pretty damn long. And it says so much about him. He's just a good person. Her, on the other hand, wants to get back together with him because things aren't working out in her way. Things aren't working in her favor. So she's like, oh, well, I want to get back together with you so I can just live with you for the meantime while I find a new boyfriend. Am I wrong for asking my parents how long it would take them to notice if I died, or would they even notice at all after they ignored 6 hours of calls about me going to the emergency room? They ignored the kids' calls for 6 hours. Oh my goodness. Like, why would you have kids if you don't even care about your kids? That's what I want to know. So, I'm the middle kid of 3. My older brother is 10 months older than me. My younger brother is 2 years younger. So we're 17, 16, and 14. My older brother and younger brother hate each other. They're always fighting and doing petty shit to each other. It drives our parents crazy and takes up a lot of attention. Or at least that's the excuse my parents use. Even before it got really bad, my parents always overlooked me more than my brothers. I was an easier kid and everything, but why does that mean it's okay to ignore me? That's so sad. Always the middle kids that get neglected. When we were younger, it was smaller stuff. Like mom and dad would forget to ask me to pick up my treat at the grocery store. Something each of us did whenever we went grocery shopping with our parents. And we'd circle back around to let me pick something once everything was paid for, because we were normally at the checkout before my parents could listen to me say I was forgotten, or it took that long for them to realize on their own. Or another example is sometimes my parents would go up to order food and they forget my order and have to go back up and place it. Happened in drive-thrus too. How do you forget your kid's order? What the frick? The order would be the first order I'd be getting. Okay. But then it was ignoring and forgetting to help me with homework when my brothers need help too, or if they argued. Forgetting stuff they had promised me because the focus was on my brothers. Forgetting we needed to go out and buy stuff for school, and that resulted in a few emails to my teachers to let them know I was going in without needed materials. It was also leaving me behind places because once my brothers started fighting more, they'd race off and not check if I was there. And it was forgetting 2 of my birthdays and remembering the next day and not even apologizing for it because I was so understanding and mature, and they would celebrate it like it was my actual birthday. That's so sad. So this person's whole life, they just felt like they've been forgotten by the parents. Every single time. Forgotten. There were times in the last 2 years where they forgot they dropped me somewhere and never came to pick me up. If I was lucky, my best friend was there and his parents would drop me off at home, and sometimes they'd pick me up and feed me first because they'd be aware I was waiting a while to leave. Other times I had to call 5 or 6 times before they'd answer. In the past, I have brought up these incidents to them, and they were always like, we don't really mean it, and we're just so overwhelmed with your brothers and we'll do better. But it feels more and more like they don't notice whether I'm around or not, unless they get really tired of my brothers fighting, and I end up hanging out with one of them, which breaks the tension for a while. Then the other week happened. I was at my best friend's house, and I had an allergic reaction to something I ate. His mom drove me to the emergency room, and she was trying to call my parents. 6 hours, 6 whole hours of calls, and my parents went at work. They were home. She tried on her phone and on mine. When her husband left work, he went to my house and told my parents what was going on. It was only then, and like 6 hours and 20 or 30 minutes later, that they left the house and they showed up at the hospital 7 hours after I went in. 7 hours without checking in on your kid. That's crazy. Maybe it's because I'm Asian, but like Asian parents, they always check in on their kids. You know, what are you doing? What are you up to? I mean, some people find that annoying, but if you hear stories like this, I would rather my parents check in on me like every single hour. Yeah, stay clingy. I had to stay in overnight, and I told my parents to go home because I was so mad and upset with them that they brought me no comfort. My best friend's mum stayed with me, which wasn't really allowed, but an exception was made because of how upset I was. My parents picked me up at discharge time, and they were being all caring and stuff, but it bothered me. Fake, right? He was like, well, now you're caring. Now you're caring. That's a bit fake of you guys because you guys never genuinely cared. Things were strained for about a week, and they told me they really needed to apologize. I said yeah, but it didn't mean anything, and the conversation went on from there. And I brought up how I was home late by 2.5 hours, and they hadn't noticed. And it took my best friend's dad literally going to the house to tell them. Then my brothers were brought up, and it was all just annoying. They swore that I was not the overlooked middle child, and I asked them how long would it take for them to notice if I died, and would they even notice, because they sure looked like they wouldn't. That really upset them, and they asked why I'd say that. and I told them I meant it. The conversation stopped then, but a few days after, my dad told me it felt like I went out of my way to hurt them, and I'm usually more mature than that. Well, maybe the parents should start taking accountability. They keep on acting like it's not their fault. They should have just been like, I'm sorry that what we did made you feel that way. We will do better as parents now. There, done. Okay. But no, they were like, no, you're just overreacting. You're not being mature right now. We've never meant it like that. If all I wanted was an apology and for them to actually tell me that they would do better, I'll be happy with that. But no, they don't even want to take any accountability at all. I can tell why this person is so frustrated. You guys didn't even know if your kid was alive or not. They could have been in the hospital dead and they wouldn't have known because they were doing whatever they were doing for the 6 to 7 hours at home. Interesting. How do you not even check in with your kid when you probably know that they'll be home by then? Or you could at least be like, hey, you coming home for dinner tonight? Are you out right now? What are you doing? So yeah, I mean, we can all agree that his parents suck. It's pretty sad. I do feel bad for him. Because no kid should grow up feeling neglected and unloved and forgotten. That's the worst. And then the dad at the end trying to make them feel bad. Your kid literally brought up something to you and you're gonna make them feel bad for it. Like, what is that? Gaslighting? Crazy. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.